Hello, hello, hello. This is Jay Odin, and I hope you are ready for the next installment of Black Cloud, Chapter 3. But before I do that, before I get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have any questions along the way, or if you want me to try to address another topic in like another video coming up. I can only know what you guys put in the comments. So please participate. Let me know because that really fuels me and makes me want to keep on doing these. But let's get to it. This is Black Cloud Chapter 3, The Revival. All right, so around this time, I was heavily into Full Metal Alchemist as a, new, I guess, renewed Christian. I mean, this is clearly, blasphemy. To have this alchemy circle of, I don't know what these symbols are. This is just me, just making something that I thought would look really, really cool. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is crazy. But whatever. We're going to just blow past that as I read this. But it says, after the fight between Reed and Han, Reed said he would revive Gray. What will happen now? Clearly, he knows alchemy, so he's just going to pour this in the middle. And then he's like, ha! And then, a gigantic light comes. And everybody, I'm glad that I drew more homeless people. They got this tall dude. Okay, I just want to say that if these homeless people were there in Chapter 1, there's only 2 people in the actual town. They can definitely take out, there's nobody else inside of the gigantic connecting wooden mansions with no windows or doors. They could overpower them. They don't have to be homeless. You see this dude is as tall as Reed is. That's crazy. Han has powers. He has powers. Why is he homeless? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. But whatever. So we're gonna if I ever did redraw this, I wonder if I would try to change it or if I would just leave all of the crazy words and keep everything the way it is. I would just redraw the art. This is absolutely insane. So anyway, they're looking intensely, and there's an old lady. This homeless old lady. This guy that has glasses. I don't know what time period this is. This has to be at least between 1980 and 2001, based off of the phone that we saw in the last chapter. But whatever. All right. It's crazy. All right. So then after that, he says that should do it. He will be back in about a week, though. It takes 1 week. So they have to sleep in this homeless shelter place with this gigantic bright light with this person that's just being revived and reformed over a week. So no more sleep in the darkness, I guess. I guess if you believed hard enough that you can't see it, you wouldn't see it. But with that backfire and now you're blind, I have no idea. Anyway, he says a week, huh? And he's like, Black Cloud is a military that sends their soldiers and sometimes even their generals to the cities in need around the country to check up on them. They help out the inhabitants and then leave. Gray, a general of great strength, was supposed to come to Roken and leave in a matter of days, but somehow he died. How is this? Black Cloud sends their generals and their soldiers to the cities around, I guess, the kingdom or country or whatever, around the country to check up on them and help out the inhabitants and then leave. And Gray, who was trying to do that, I guess, just first by browsing. He was just walking in Chapter 1. He's like, it's really empty here. I don't see anybody. This is ridiculous. And then he sees somebody running, and then he sees a gigantic man that's like, hey, get back here. He's like, okay, this is somebody I can help. I can help this person. And then he's like, all right, what's going on? He's like, that person just stole my sword. And he's like, all right, I got you. And then he goes after that person, finds out it's a hot girl. And then after that, he just does not care at all about there's a girl stealing a sword. And then he's like, I gotta find you because I'm looking to smash. That's why I'm actually here. I don't care about Black Cloud. Are you kidding me? I'm not even gonna explain this until Chapter 3, the last chapter of the book. No one cares about Black Cloud. So anyway, he gets there and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna help out the inhabitants not the actual paying inhabitants, the 2 people inside of the town. I'm gonna help out these homeless people who live in a town where if they believe hard enough, anything will happen. For whatever reason, they have not believed to themselves, I'm not homeless. But like they just like, we like community. That's why we live under this, sand bridge in the middle of the town, like where this gigantic river that comes out and kills and takes our spirit and slowly killing us. Like, the story is ridiculous. This story is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, he's like, how did he die if he's like super strong? And he's like, Kahul. He's like, what? Did you just sneeze? Like, what is that? So Sophie explains how Kahul tortured the homeless. Okay, see? Yes, I got better. You see how there's that little that white border around these letters? Yeah. Go, Jay Odin of 11th grade. You're doing it. I got better right here. He says, Sophie explains how Kahul tortured the homeless and how Gray killed him to save them all from any more torture. Well, since Gray killed him, this case is closed, right? Then he says, no. He says, what? Why not? Is this Kahul the reason you became strong? This is me trying to retcon or explain certain things that I didn't explain. So, yeah, that's what this is. And then he's like, yeah, you see, after Gray killed Kahul, we all mourned over his death, but we didn't expect Kahul to still be alive. He reappeared, but he couldn't reshape into his original form, the giant testicle. But he had enough strength to say these words, it won't be soon, but I promise you will all suffer the same fate as that man. I will kill you all. I don't know why that's the voice that came to my head, but clearly I did really good because now there is a different font. What? I got a lot better. I also really liked this panel when I originally drew it. I thought that I got better drawing water, and I was like, oh man, this looks really cool. So that, he has an actual somewhat form, it's not a testicle. So it kind of still kind of looks like he has a testicle, but I mean, like it's a lot better in my opinion. So, all right. Then he falls into the lake. And he says, we all kind of thought that Kahul would come back when Gray did. So since you said he'll be back in a week. Since you said he'll be back in a week. Wow. Okay. Always reread your work, guys, because typos suck. So also, this is how many homeless people there's supposed to be. Clearly it's a gigantic black blob, but that's a lot of homeless people inside this town. Those 2 individuals that live inside of that town, the doctor and the weapon salesman, are complete and total dicks for not sharing the enormous amount of buildings that they live in. And like, this is just crazy. This is absolutely insane. Those are the real villains of this town. Kahul. It's not Kahul. It is the doctor and that weapon salesman. No wonder Sophie was stealing a sword from this guy. It's like, I hate you. Oh man. Then he says Kahul will no doubt be here as well. It says that doesn't make sense. Why of all of 10 years would he come now, and how do you know? In Roken, a thought that is believed so much that it becomes subconscious will become a fact no matter what it is. Why are you homeless? We all believe that Kahul would be back when Gray did, so he'll be back in a week. This also goes antithetical to the very beginning, the end of chapter 1, where he's like, we don't believe in you anymore. Like, I mean, you would think that would last for like forever, right? I mean, you don't want Kahul to come, but clearly they're just like, we are terrified. So terrified that we can't imagine ourselves to live in a town without a lake. I mean, just do that. I'm like, I want to live in a town that does not have a lake that can haunt us and kill us. Like, I want to live in a town where I can, have money and not be homeless. It's absolutely insane. And he says, well, don't worry, it'll be okay. You have become very strong, and with me and my brother helping you out, Kahul won't stand a chance. Wait, what? What did you mean, my brother? My brother Gray. What, you didn't see the family resemblance? And then everybody's like, what? Okay. This is even more insane. Why would read 10 years? I have a brother. we don't talk nearly as much as we used to, but I mean, I still talk to him. And, I think the longest amount of time is maybe like, a couple months. If I didn't see my brother for 10 years and then I found out he's dead, like during that time or immediately, I'd be like, what? Like that's such a shock. That's so insane that like he wasn't checking up on him, or like, clearly they're not close. Like I don't know. Like it's crazy. This comic hurts me. This is crazy, man. All right, well, I think I get to the fight scene now. Okay, 6 days later. All right, so 6 days have passed. Not an entire week. I think that's important to make a point of. But then you see this gigantic river. Boom. Everything is coming up, and he's like, He's like, huh? Come on, hurry up. He's here. Yes, nod. And then they're like, we don't put shirts on because this is the final battle. He's like, crap, it got bigger. Time for a gigantic testicle battle. Yeah, so I would not have done this. I wouldn't have done this. I would have redrawn this entirely, but at least the water looks a little bit cooler, so that's good. But they are very, very small. So clearly I should have drawn this in a different way. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's go to the next page. Next page. Han, where did you get a nightgown? You're homeless. It's like you have. Where did you get a nightgown? Why would you wear a nightgown? There's no changing room. Like there's no bathroom. Did you just go behind a sand mound and say, I'm gonna get dressed? No peeking. I'm clearly the most beautiful woman in this entire homeless town. These homeless people have impeccable morals. They don't care about like peeping or looking at any girls. Like that's great for sure, but I mean, if you're homeless, I don't think that's like at your highest priority. Just as a side note, but my wife, before we got married, we lived in Savannah, Georgia, and we were both working at other places. So I worked at Kroger, if I'm not mistaken, and she worked at this one bookstore. And she said that there was one day where I think she was off this day, or maybe she was about to come in and start a shift or something like that. But one of her coworkers was helping out a customer. And in the time that this employee was helping out that customer, and in a different section of the bookstore, which by the way, they didn't have a lot of employees working like overlapping because it was a small independent store. They don't have a large amount of funding. So, and on top of that, it's like a small bookstore inside of Savannah. So yeah, it got busy sometimes, but it didn't really have like a staff like Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. So all of that to say is, in the time that this one particular employee was helping out a customer, a homeless man walked in, went to the kids section, and then just started masturbating. And then the employee finally got back to where they were supposed to go, heard some, nefarious noises behind a wall, went behind that wall to the kids section, and then saw this homeless man just going off on himself. I'm saying this to say that, I don't believe that every homeless person is an evil person or has nefarious, means or anything in that regard. What I am saying is that clearly, like there are homeless people that don't think about these things. And if if Sophie is supposed to be the most beautiful girl in this town, I don't think that they would be thinking, you know what, I'm not gonna peek behind this sand mound when she's changing. Like she's wearing a nightgown. Like, why would you wear a nightgown? What? Like, where'd you get that nightgown? There's no shops. Like, even if it was a shop, how would you know? There's no windows. How'd you get inside the building? Inside the one door? Like, the one door that had that gigantic fat man. I assume that's also his business as well, because there's nobody else inside of this town. Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. So anyway, she's in a nightgown running, saying, "Han, something's not right. Gray's not alive yet." Well, no figure. It's, it's been like 6 days. Figures. There's nothing we can do about it. So just wait until he awakes. Then tell him to come help us as soon as possible, all right? Also, get everybody to safety, all right, Sophie? let's go. And then they, zoom off. Finally, your death has come. All right. This is ridiculous. This is a water boner. He shoots this gigantic water cannon or whatever. And then he's like, spell number 96. And then he extends his arm, and there's this gigantic blockade rock that stops it. And then he's like, what? Okay, this is some food for thought to everybody that is a comic book artist. If you're going to do something like this, make this a lot clearer. The tone's already kind of muggy it up. So that's one. Two, the blockade is the thing that's supposed to be focused on inside of this particular panel, whereas it's off to the side. It's not centered. The attack actually is off to the side. This is just not a good panel at all. So, ew. In my opinion, I do not like this panel at all. But I like the idea of it. So, I just wish I would have executed it a lot better. He says, you're first. And then he's like, and he creates this gigantic rock. And he throws it right through Kahul because he is water. And then he's like, you're done for. What now? And then he's like, I'm Han, and I have air powers, and I'm going to redirect you. I remember drawing this panel, and I was so proud of myself. I thought this entire page was very cool. I'm looking at it now, and it's very confusing with the speed lines and everything else. But hey, you live and you learn. You try things, and I've learned a lot. So, but anyway, Han comes. He redirects the attack, and then after that, the attack goes back into himself, which looks crazy. And then after that, he says, you're that boy from last time. You'll now be my first victim. It's like that boy who stopped believing in me, but clearly did not stop believing in me because now I'm here and I'm here to kill you. And then he's like, looks like he's going to absorb the surrounding water to make himself bigger. And then, that's exactly what he's doing. Show, don't tell. If you have to tell after you show. So what I should have done is just have him start this process in a panel right before he said this. And then that way, in this panel, you would realize, oh, that's what he's doing. That's what you should do if you have to actually explain it. Hopefully you don't have to explain it and you can just show it, but that's what needs to happen. So keep that in mind for anybody out there. But, all right, then you see, we need to solidify it to hurt it. Any ideas? I said, well, if we can't freeze it, why don't we absorb it? He says, what? How? And then he's like, and then he's like, I'm going to take this rock and turn it into dust. And then he takes that dust. He says, more. Give me your sand. Now become mud. And then he throws it into the lake. And he becomes this gigantic, heavy sack of testicle. This is hot. By becoming mud, it becomes easier to hurt. It's not a complete solid, but it'll do, hopefully. Foolish humans, you've made me more powerful. And then he attacks them with his mud fist. And then he's like, you can't beat me. This is so hard to actually understand. Don't do this, guys. Do not do this. They get pushed back. He says, crap. By making him solid, I actually made him stronger. What now? And then he was like, this. And then Han says, I am so farther. I should be a general because I could do things like this. And then he gets up there and he splits him because he's awesome. He says, what? And then he's like, ah! And he splits the mud away from the water. I don't even know if I explained this, but yes. He's like, Han, I got you. What did you do to him? He's out of breath, clearly. I manipulated all the air or oxygen, for that matter, in his body and separated it from the hydrogen to create two gases. It was risky, but hopefully it got the job done. After doing that technique, it takes most of my energy away, so let's hope it worked. You're trying to tell me that Han has the ability to control oxygen? Like, I mean, not just air, oxygen. I mean, why not just take out all of the prisoners? You didn't have to kill them. You could just make them all suffocate or, pass out or whatever. Like, he killed those guys in chapter 2. This is insane. He is. Oh, my God. And then he's like, what? How? That's amazing. And he's thinking to himself, this boy is that of a genius. And he's as powerful as Black Cloud General. Wow, at such a young age, too. It's because of that jellyfish thing. If you guys know anything about Toriko, well, look, all you need to know is that Toriko has a jellyfish. It's magical. Like, it doesn't matter. But anyway. All right, so then everything is starting to zoom back up. He says, what? And then, like, he keeps on going in. He says, no. Cowl, no, we failed. It can't die. I would be terrified if there was a gigantic testicle-sized, like, ball of water. Like, it's crazy. And then he comes out of nowhere with this tight shirt. It's like, you have to freeze him. That way he's solidified and can't move. That voice can't be yo. What's up, guys? I'm back. I'm not looking at anybody because this is how I talk. I'm like Rock from Pokemon. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And then he's like, great. Oh, man. It's like, what's up, guys? We can catch up later, but first we got to take care of him. And then he says, we don't have that much time until he attacks, so just follow my plan. I'm going to freeze him with everything I got. Read, after that, you use Omega Alpha to kill it. After that, Han, I need you to blow it away with a huge gust of wind. I know you can do it. Sophie told me you have the air element. So this is what I'm envisioning. Over 6 days, you see Gray's body, like, become an actual body. Very slowly. He's in the middle of that circle. And finally, the 6 days have passed. It's still nighttime, so I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like 6 days and 23 hours. So that way you only have to wait for 1 hour and then he comes. Or if it was just 6 days, now you have 24 hours that you still got to wait. I don't know. I didn't specify it. But assuming that it's the first one where, they were only fighting for an hour or maybe a little less, and then, Gray gets revived. He finally, like, wakes up, and Sophie is there, and she's like, oh my God, Gray, my love. And she kisses him and says, look, you need to go out there and you need to help Han and your brother. Yeah, I didn't know you had a brother. That's crazy. I know we only met each other for 30 minutes and then we started making out, but clearly you have a brother because he's here and he's trying to help you. But anyway, long story short, you need to go help them. By the way, my brother has the air power. So just let him know that he needs to do what he needs to do because we're terrified. Every homeless person in this entire shelter right now is terrified. Like, this is crazy. I know that we should have believed that we had money and that we were out of the situation, but we didn't, and now here we are. So anyway, give me your lips, and I'm gonna, go. Oh, by the way, here's this tight ass shirt. Please put this on. I need to see you inside of this, so that way when you're fighting that gigantic testicle in the sky, things will be okay. All right, deuces, bye. And then she leaves, and then Gray is like, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna look really cool. And he's like, hey, yo, guys, what's up? So that's what's happened up to this point. And then he explains that this is what their plan is. So then he's like, all right, let's do this. And then he's like, ha, 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 you just adding on to the death list. And he's like, spell 101, Sub-Zero. Psh. And then he says, Black Cloud. Okay, all right. First off, Gray has an immense amount of power. Like, I mean, clearly he is very, very strong. Inside of chapter 1, when he was doing his spells, I mean, it wasn't as powerful as this. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's like a Saiyan. Every time he comes back, he gets stronger. Like, I don't know. But, like, he doesn't look like he's wasted any energy at all. He just said, spell 100 Sub-Zero. And then now this entire block of ice is in the air. So that's one. That's crazy. Like, this guy is very, very powerful. That's one. 2, I don't think I actually showed this, but wouldn't that giant ball of ice immediately start to fall down? Like, I mean, it's heavy. It's ice. like, I want you to go outside or go to your refrigerator, take a block of ice and then drop it. Like, that's that's what would happen, like, on top of all these people. So, I mean, that seems like a really reckless decision to make. You know, I'm going to make this gigantic ball of ice to kill everybody. But then after that, he says, Black Cloud, Omega Alpha, and then he shoots it. He says, wow, it's huge. Nothing like mine. They're so powerful. And then, like, you know, it shatters. And then Han jumps up and, you know, blows it away to the next town where all those ice chunks, like, just crush a lot of random people, I guess. I don't know. So then he falls down and you see all of these homeless people and they start making out. She's like, I had put on this nightgown specifically because I knew that you were going to be coming within the next day. And, you know, I really just wanted to let you know that I'm still here. I know I'm 10 years older. My womb is still okay if you want to make some babies. Like, things are okay. I just hit 29. So, I mean, it's fine. We can still have a baby. So, you know, I'm here. That's what she was doing. That's the reason why she has a nightgown. That's why she stole that nightgown from that other merchant, I guess, inside of the town. That's what happened. So, okay. I got it now. And then he's like, it's over. And then everybody's like, yay! And then they have a party. And he says, later that night, homeless broken through a party to celebrate. They're all just laughing. They don't have drinks. They don't have food. They're homeless. they don't have anything. This is how I told you would die. I told you would die before me. I told you that you would die before me. It's whatever. Whatever. I said I'd get a hotter girl than you, though. Looks like we were both right. And then she's like smiling, looking off to the side at nobody. This is my homeless bride. And then he's like, hey, Beth is hot. And then he pulls up this girl. He says, yeah, as hot as a hippo can get. First off, that is very, very, very offensive to your sister-in-law. Like, I mean, why would you say that? That is horrible. I mean, you don't have to be attracted to your sister-in-law, but I mean, gee whiz. You don't need to call her a hippo. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, like, I don't know. Clearly I have a type. It's like, I don't know what I was thinking during that time, but gee whiz. And then he's like, hey, when are you going back? I'm not. What? Why not? I was dead for 10 years. Those 10 years I made Sophie wait. Now that I'm back, I plan to make up for lost time. We are about to get busy. You see what she's wearing right now? That's for me. I've been... Oh, man. Okay. What he should have said is, it's been 10 years. Black Cloud sent you 10 years after I died. I don't think they want me. Okay, I'm a general. I am a high-ranking officer inside of this military, and it took 10 years for them to send my own brother. Not only that, why didn't you realize this? You're my brother. Like, what are you talking about? This is insane. So yeah, no, I'm not going back to his military. And then he says, okay, that's cool. Just remember there's always a spot for you, all right? Why would there always be a spot for you? Crazy. Well, I was wondering if I could come and join Black Cloud. Why you look so serious? Why are you so serious? His face is messed up. It's crazy. It's like, what? Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I'm sure. I've been acting like I was in it for so long. I might as well actually become one. Ha, we're leaving in the morning. Go on, start packing up. First off, what is he going to pack up? He's homeless. He's going to pack up the stolen jacket and sword that he took. I have a shirt. That is all. This is crazy. Okay, some advice for people that want to draw comics. Try to avoid the floating head syndrome. As you can see, it's just a lot of close-ups of heads, and I mean, I do kind of zoom out a little bit to show, them in relationship to each other. But I mean, just don't be doing this. This isn't okay. So, all right, let's go. Let's keep going. I'm almost done. He's like, really? Yeah. How many homeless people are there? Like, there were not these many homeless people in chapter 1. And they could definitely overpower those 2 people inside of the town of Roken. Like, that's crazy. All right, so the next morning, bye, sis. I'll miss you. These are all people behind them. I mean, there's no detail under them, but, like, you would not know that these are people unless I told you. So, yeah, these are all people who are all saying goodbye to Han. The thief, who's just like his sister, another thief. She says, I'll miss you too. Don't die. And then after that, Gray's like, take care. I know you've never seen my face, but I'm trying to give you some game right now. Never show your eyes, okay? Never show your eyes. That's what happened when we first met. And here we are. And he's like, you too, Gray. And that's, he instinctively realized, because he never opens his eyes again. Neither does his brother. So then it says, the homeless Rokin say goodbye to the young hero and the general as they leave to go on to another adventure. This is a story of how their river died. Han will live on to become stronger, but this is all I can show you. There will be trouble along the way, but he'll surely get through it as long as Black Cloud lives on as well. The end. Okay. I have no words. Like these, I have no words. These look horrible. The art's, oh man, the colors look so bad. Okay. That was Black Cloud, everybody. That was my very first completed story that I ever did on my own from start to finish. That was digital with with Manga Studio. I still find a lot of enjoyment reading it. I think it was ridiculous. I think it was insane in every way. The story does not make that much sense. It is hilarious. The art is absolutely atrocious. There's so many mistakes, but in all honesty, I mean, it's still, it's still a pretty entertaining story, for me anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this read along. I hope you enjoyed the craziness that we discussed through, each chapter. What was your favorite part? Let me know in the comments below. Again, I might be putting this on YouTube. If it is on YouTube, let me know if you liked, chapter 1, 2, or 3. And if you would like to buy this, along with a lot of other short stories that I came up with in my J. Odin Odies series, you can do that by using the link in the description box below. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Again, I'm very grateful for everything that you guys have, done for me, by checking out these videos, leaving comments, questions, all that. So if you have any more questions, please, put them in the comments below, because that really fuels me and helps me, want to keep on doing more of these. But in the next episode, I might be reading another thing, or maybe I'll be giving advice. We'll see what happens. But to tune in, just, make sure that you're a patron of mine in my Patreon. So, yeah. But anyway, talk to you all later. Deuces.